What's up, good people? This is Isaiah. And as we look at the tape, yeah, I spent some time getting Levia. That was fun, actually. So, I got her, oh man, today's Monday. I want to say I got her Thursday. Or was it Wednesday? I basically spent like 4 days fishing for her. So I did that, got her, and then leveled her up, and then went through the quest. I want to say, like 2 or 3 days ago, to get her alternate style, if you will. So that was also fun. Really, those fights were interesting. You know, easy, obviously, right? At this point in the game, those fights were incredibly easy, right? I think the only one that I didn't really struggle with, but I didn't understand like the mechanic of his fight was when you fought the speed demon. You know what I mean? That was the only one I didn't get. But I quickly found out that okay, he can absorb, say, magic, but we can take him out with physical, and then it would constantly just switch. So I found it out really quickly. You know what I mean? Still no AF the guy. You know, with the OP units here. Team I used right here for that. So that was fun, really. And this is also the team I use when, like, if I'm grinding a dungeon. I would use this team. Noahxis in here because of her passive ability that would restore all party members' HP and MP by 15%. And that way I don't have to keep, and it doesn't really matter where she's at, by the way. She could be in the front row, the back row, it doesn't matter. But I didn't have to keep Tuva in the party, who has like 0 MP, right? So it's like, okay, I can take the hit because I'm going to get it all back. You know what I mean? So I believe Efi here, I want to say, how much does she take? Wow, I do not know. Like, when you use a skill and Efi's in the party, like, I don't know the percentage of that she takes out of health. I think it may be 20%, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't, unfortunately. Wow. Okay. So, but yeah. So basically what ends up happening is you pretty much get healed, you know, every time. You know, give or take the 5%, but the 5% never was never that big of a deal. Because again, you'll get it all back anyway, you know. At least for me, I always got it all back. So it's like I used Flamelopus and I had Tufa in the party using up her abilities. I swapped out Tufa for Noahxis. And then of course, I just used Noahxis' ability to basically regain what was lost, you know. And yeah, had Flam at full HP pretty quickly. So fun stuff. Anyway, I don't know if I talked about it in my last video about characters I got to 255 now, but if I haven't, I guess I'll talk about it now. I probably didn't. Let me double check that real quick just to be sure. Let's see, my last video was on, let's go internet. Last video was on getting Ash tier to 255, and that was first of the month. All right, cool. So we're talking about characters I got done here. So I'm gonna just open up this, and we're gonna sort by filter by light. Oh man, I feel like I have to sneeze. Sorry. Anyway. All right, so we got Aisha here at 255, right? And the reason why I got Aisha to 255 this month, and this was a couple weeks ago, was because in if you guys read the notices, you would have realized that for Nona's dungeons, right? Those 3 or 4 dungeons or whatever. The shadow drop rate is pretty low, which is unfortunate because I wanted to run her dungeon. I didn't feel like running TTW for Nona, right? Because ideally I was going to work on her, but I'm like, forget it. I'll just work on Aisha. And I worked on Aisha and got Aisha done. Colette, as you can all see, is done. We're just looking at free users here, or free units, I should say. Aldo, done. Curio, done. Sheila, done. Ash tier. Wow, okay. Really? There's 2 away. Do I have any? Noahxis. And then for Shadow here, obviously, Garyu, Clark. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as Shadow users are concerned. I find that there's far more light-based users than there are Shadow. So, but yeah, that's really been the deal here with some of these characters. So it's fun times, really fun times. I know the video about how you can leverage like guiding light staffs or guiding light or luring shadow, the extras that you get like from doing quests and things like that can actually help boost. And then it's just about being, I hate to say it, pretty smart about how you use them, right? So for example, if I go to staff here, there's 38 staff users in the game right now. This is going to change, obviously, you know what I mean? But 38 staff users, and I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 of them pretty much maxed out so far, okay? And because of that, and because the abundance of staff users, if I draw any of those 12, then, or if I get any of those 12 and say like a pull, then I'll get, depending on the version, right? Like if it's a Mariel or, let's see, who else? If it's a Mariel, Chio, Colette, Lele, you know, any of them, I'm most likely going to get anywhere between 4 or 16 additional guiding light staffs, which I can then use to, of course, put into the next closest character, right? Because I understand that the more of these gotcha units that I have maxed out, when you do a pull, you'll be able to, like, if you say you maxed out every gotcha character at 255, every time you do a pull, you can take the extra guiding or luring shadow and give it to a free character. You know what I mean? And be done with it. There's a reason why, like, I purposely decided to max out Eva and Flamelopus. What was that, back in March? Right? I decided to do them instead of focus on, say, a Colette, which I finished last month, but a Colette or who else? Starkey, for example, right? Except Starkey's a light staff-based user. You know what I mean? Focus on that. Although, like, my odds of getting these two pretty low. Although I've had some luck with Flamelopus recently for some reason, but still, you know, because I know, again, there's like what we have: Colette, Aisha, Mayu, Starkey. That's 4. Levia, Saki. That's 6 free staff users, and the rest of them are paid users. You know what I mean? And you can literally go from that and just do what it is you have to do to basically complete some of these freer based characters, these free characters. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. There's a reason why, like, I haven't used any of the luring shadow staff or luring shadow hammers, because as we can see, the amount of hammer users that are shadow fit on this screen. This is all we got: Ewan, Prime, Melina, Bianca, and Daisy. And then, of course, Noah, who I do not have. It makes no sense to me. Like, I could finish up Melina right now. You know, I could probably finish up Bianca as well. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I'm not going to actually do this, but There we go. So 135. I can easily finish her up. But what would be the point? Because there's not many shadow hammer based users. There's no point in me doing this right now. You know what I mean? Now, if we had 50, shadow hammer based users, or let's just say we had 50 hammer based users in general. Right now, there's only 16. But if we had 50 and 25 were, say, shadow and the other 25 were light, then yeah, absolutely. I would be taking some time into finishing up some of these other shadow based users, but this isn't the case here. So in my head, it makes no sense to actually put all this time and energy into finishing up these characters. You know what I mean? Now, if we look at light, though, there's plenty of options here as far as light. Is much bigger than that of the shadow. Hence why May is done. Plus I use May for the battle simulator when I need to grind out manifest weapons. So anyway, she have it on her own. I don't know if you would count Suzette as a hammer-based user. Granted, her ES style is hammer-based, but she was first a lance user. So there's that. Let's see here. If I go to fists, there's 18 fist users, right? I finished up Felmina, Hardy, Nero. We have Dewey here, and I have 79 of those. That will be, I'm not going to use those. Right, finished up some of these Ash tier, obviously, Rufus, because we have a little bit more of these hammer-based users. Damn, I've put no time and energy into Amy. Not sorry at all, Amy. Dewey, right? Which I'm gonna do some experimenting with Dewey because I believe he could be useful. It'd be pretty. I want to test him on the bags, right? But understanding how his kit works makes it pretty hard to do because those bags don't buff themselves. So I'll have to find another way to make it work. I don't know if the skill works if I buff the enemy, which makes no sense. Like, who would actually want to do that? But you never know. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, what if I buff the enemy? I think the one that comes to mind is what's her name? Mana? Because I believe Mana can buff the enemy. So yeah, she comes to mind as someone who she can give, say, power plus 35% to all enemies and you, and then go from there. See if that actually impacts Dewey's ability. You know what I mean? But yeah, things like that. All right. But yeah, as far as what I'll be doing next, or the character I'm going to grind for next, I should say, light for actual free units here. Let's see, who's the closest to being done? 84 and 84 on Alphen and Nona. Right, that's the reason why I stopped there. Like I said, for Nona in particular. Oh, well, we can bump her up. So, I'll probably work on, whoever the next best character is here. I'm thinking Surge. Yeah, I'm thinking Surge. Let's see, where's he at? Surge, where are you? Surge. Here we go. So Surge is at 212. So I may just work on Surge because he's close enough to make it worth it to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's only, 43 light that he would need to get. And if I were to go to, say, my sword-based users that I have completed, 1, 2, just those two. Wow, this is terrible odds. But who knows? If I pull on the banner here, let's see here. If I pull on this banner, I might get lucky and get Claude. Maybe. Let's see. should also be stated, I don't really care who I get, because this is what I look forward to. The +1 increases, the +4 increases, the +16 increases, and things of that nature. Okay, nice. We got a guiding light sword, everybody. And we got some guiding light bows. More lances. Zilva, who's maxed out. Nice. Okay, whatever. Like, no big deal, in my opinion. But, like I said, I mean, I'm probably going to work on Surge to finish him up, get it over with. You know what I mean? I'm not really too worried about the Chrono Stones, actually, because I can easily go get more of those by either paying for them or doing more fishing, right? I'm not even close to completing all of the fishing stuff, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I finally got Levia. Round of applause. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next up, Noah and whoever the new unit's going to be. They're saying it's going to be a staff shadow-based user. Which, if that is the case, what was his name? Yakumo? I don't know what the hell the guy's name is, but so I definitely want the guy. If I don't get him, it's fine. But I definitely do want him. Because man, we had a lot of like these guys we see here. I think these are the only guys that have been released recently. You know what I mean? Like before Dewey, who was it? Claude was the last one, I believe. You know, it was Dewey, and then it was Dewey, Garenbrell, and then before Garenbrell, it was Claude. So, but in that same time frame, we had Cynthia, Bianca, Hismena, Nakoko, AS, Sukiya, Efi, Flamelopus AS, Minalka, Hina, Mariel ES, right? Ozaki, like we had all these other users. Like, come on now, give us another stab user, give us another guy out here, give us a soldier or something. You know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, there's really no point to this video other than to celebrate the fact that I did something that I thought I would never actually do, and that was bring Levia home. You know what I mean? I gotta do a quest. Yep, gotta do that quest. So, anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I will talk to you all later.